Hey everyone, Daniel with HRT, and today I want to show you an exciting new product for 2024. It's going to be the HRT Tactical Marker Light. So a lot of times you'll want to mark in a low light environment, either your friends, yourself, some equipment, maybe a canine, things like that. And there's a number of options that we already know in the industry to use. So there are things like the Spark that you can attach to something. You can obviously use some type of a chem light, or there are things like the HealthStar and other options like that give you some of your different IR and colored modes and things like that. So we're already familiar with those, but every one of them has some type of drawback to those. So if you have a Spark, you can't recharge it, so once the battery dies, you're done. It also only has one color pattern. It does give you a couple modes, but one color pattern. Now I have heard of a couple people that'll cut this open, put in a coin battery, and now I've got a couple more however long a runtime, but you do have that one color option and it's not rechargeable. The chem light, you only get a couple hours out of this, and it's a throwaway, and they are kind of expensive. I think there's like $2 for a single chem light, depending on which color you're getting, a little bit more. So a pack of 30 of these, you're at like 60 bucks. That's not super convenient over long term, especially when it's just a disposable item. The HealthStars are super handy, but they're fairly expensive, and then you don't have any way of knowing what color you're actually showing at the time. So user error, but I've been on the range before, thought this was on a color mode and it was actually an infrared, and I got chewed out by an RSO because I didn't have any light on my helmet. He didn't have night vision. So whose fault is that? His, mine, probably mine. But that's an issue you can run into one of these. You just don't know what color you're on, you don't know if it's on, and then they are pretty expensive. So with these options, HRT looked at something a little bit better. So can we give you multiple colors in one unit? Can we give you a small compact package, a little bit better than this, maybe closer to the Spark? And can we let you know what you're actually doing with it without having to take it off of your helmet or wherever it's maybe at? Some type of non-verbal, non-visual cue that will tell you what position your light happens to be in. And then why would we limit you to just one color as well when that's not super helpful? Sometimes you need an IR and sometimes you need red. Maybe you're in a training environment, you need blue. You need to keep changing these things up. So that is where the HRT Tactical Marker Light came into play. Looking at all the options we already had on the market and looking at what things you guys would desire, we created this marker light. So as you'll see, I have a couple of them going throughout here. We've got one that's over in green. There's a blue and a red. This one's strobing red and blue here. So the beauty of the system is you have all these colors in one. So you have your red, blue, green, amber, white, and then you have IR. And then you have strobe modes that will alternate between those two colors. And then you have an SOS mode where it will flash the 3 short, 3 long, 3 short. So you have a wide variety of features to go between. Now, instead of having to guess which mode you're in, all you have to do is tap on the unit. So I'll reset this one back to off. And you won't be able to feel it, but I'm going to tell you that when I press this once, I get one soft buzz. Now I'm going into my high mode, I get 2 buzzes. When I go into my strobe feature, I get 3 short buzzes, and this tells me what I'm doing, so I know where my position of my light is. This is on my helmet. I'll be able to feel that through my helmet, and I can also feel it when I press the button. So that's a really helpful feature. You get that vibration on the device. And now you're going, that's cool. You just keep cycling through blue. All right, well, let's set it, change the color. So in order to change the colors on here, we go into a programming mode. So you'll give it 10 clicks and hold. And as you'll see, it'll give me this whole rainbow situation here, go through all the different colors. And now I can choose, I got blue, white, amber. Now I'm getting my IR, you see there's no light there, but it is, I'm feeling the buzz. Red and blue, red and white, white and amber, and then I'm going back to my solids again. So green, blue, white, amber, and now I'm back in IR. So let's go back to blue. And if we just hang out here, it's going to give me that little dial again. So now I'm locked into blue. And as I alternate through this, I'm only getting my blue range. So this allows you to isolate the color you want and not have to run into, oh shoot, I'm supposed to be red, but I'm stuck in green, and I didn't realize it until 20 minutes in. I know I'm not getting a different color unless I physically take this off and go through the colors. And I'm also able to figure out which specific type of light I'm getting by the feel of the buttons when I'm pressing them. So this really narrows down a lot of the issues with some of these other systems. In order to turn the unit off, you can just give it one nice long press and you'll feel a buzz and the unit will shut down. So you're able to control that from the top, not having to sort through the menu there or do those taps to get it shut off. So let's get into some of the specs for these units. So as a super plus to you, the consumer, these are IP68, so they're dust proof and waterproof. That's up to 150 feet of water, not dust. And that means that you've got an entirely sealed unit. So you don't have any egress areas. You're not going to have the unit destroyed because you went out into a rainy day or something like that. They all have the ability to have this hook on the back, so you can attach this to any of your existing hook and loop that you might have on a helmet, maybe a carrier. I've seen people want to do these on canines, things like that, so you can keep track of the dog with like an IR instead of the suspect and the officers being able to see him. So some of those features in there. You've got your different modes, so there's the low, high, and then the strobe options. You have a whole bunch of different color options, and we put all this together in a super reasonable price of $49.95. So find something else in the market that gives you that many options and that price. You're not. You're limited to this. So we really wanted to make sure you have all the different features and options combined in one package. It's not a $300 product. These are little just 2x3 sized pieces. They fit nicely on any of your helmets without taking up too much space. You've got about 150 hours of runtime on the low mode, 72 hours on the high mode, and then well over 24 hours on the strobe mode. So you get a long runtime for that. Now, we haven't talked about it yet, what happens when that dies, because eventually the batteries are going to run out. Well, the entire unit is rechargeable on any type of wireless system. So if you have one of those wireless chargers for your phone, something like that, you can just toss these on top of that and those will start to charge. So yet another thing we wanted to include there so you don't have to do the weird throw it away or cut it open for a battery type thing. And then we didn't want it to be a ton of money where you're spending way too much for just a couple sets of lights. Every color has 2 sets of diodes, so you have the redundancy where if the one should fail for any reason, you've got the second one. And then we've made sure the entire housing is nicely sealed, so this is impact resistant. You're not going to break it from bumping your head, dropping your helmet, things like that. Nice and protected and secure. So once again, as a recap of the system, you've got a ton of color options built into here. You have it a very compact size, very affordable, rechargeable, and you can attach this to any type of system you might want to mark whatever gear or people you might need to. We're really excited about this product. We've been talking about it and showing it off since around SHOT Show. Really glad to finally bring this to the market. I'm going to pick one up. Hope you guys do as well. Check them out at HRTtacticalgear.com. If you've got any questions about placement or use or any questions about the programming, feel free to reach out to us. We'd be happy to answer those questions. Thanks for checking out the video, and we'll catch you on the range.